From glowing pigeons that might just be fairies in disguise, to eerie shadows that whisper ancient tales. Join us as we explore these spine-tingling sightings.
Around yet, but you can barely make it out right there, right?
These Unbelieve moments of spiritual beings making an appearance will speak the truth. As the fiery orange clouds parted, a luminous figure soared across the sky, captivating those who saw it. The entire sky blazed with surreal colors, sparking shouts of, "It's an angel!" from the awestruck crowd. Yet as quickly as it appeared, the figure vanished, leaving room for doubt and debate. Could this stunning vision have been a mere weather balloon, reflecting the sunset in such a way that it seemed otherworldly? Or was it truly a divine sign, a visitor from the heavens? It was a peek into the divine, but somehow with incomplete proof. Dark flying entity. While the world was tuned into the news from Israel, user on TikTok saw something unbelievable. A dark winged figure cut through the sky as the broadcast aired. It looked menacing, almost like those fallen angels or demons you hear about in spooky old tales. I'm not sure, but it seemed too distinct to be just a bird or bug. It hung there like a shadow over the scene, captured on video, undeniable. The Bible mentions such beings watching from the skies, making this even spookier. This video has got folks talking. Could we be glimpsing into the spiritual realm? What do you make of this shadowy figure? Gargoyle in flight. During a family trip to an Asian forest, they marveled at the beauty of nature. The peaceful scene soon turned into something terrifying. While the father was filming the landscape, he spotted a bizarre creature in the sky. A giant figure with grotesque features, a long tail, and massive wings that allowed it to soar through the air. The family was left frozen with fear, capturing the eerie encounter on camera. Viewers online were left to decide for themselves. Was this a real-life gargoyle or any bird? The mystery remains chilling. Guardian Angel. You all know about the superpowers of vampires, right? If you've seen Twilight or the Vampire Diaries, you know they're fast, they can teleport, and they somehow always appear just in time to save the day. Well, this next clip might seem like it's been edited, and I get it. I thought the same thing at first, but here's the catch. This was all caught on a real traffic camera. In the video, you see someone pulled from a close collision, almost like a guardian angel moment. It's mind-blowing, but it's legit. Maybe vampires, or something like them, are living among us. And if that's true, what else could be out there, watching over us? German Shepherd. Heads up, hotel guests. Something bizarre just happened in the lobby, and it was caught on CCTV. A girl from the hotel staff was walking through the space when she suddenly tripped and fell. But here's the kicker. Within a blink, she transformed into a German Shepherd dog. Guests couldn't believe their eyes as they watched the footage. It felt like something out of a wild myth. Forget about reality for a moment. This was pure magic or maybe a hidden power at play. So if you find yourself in that hotel, keep an eye out. You never know when you might see a staff member turn into a dog. Interview with Abnormal. In the dim light, a reporter crouched down, mic in hand, aiming it at a figure sitting low against a cracked wall. This guy, he wasn't acting normally. His head tilted at a weird angle, eyes wide and staring like he saw things no one else could. The jungle around them was way too quiet, like it was holding its breath. The reporter looked out of place, all polished, facing this strange figure who seemed not quite human. The darkness around them suggests isolation, or perhaps a hidden story waiting to be uncovered. A glimpse into a world often unseen or overlooked. What was he? Not a good poster. Caught on security footage, an unusual visitor outside a small store, an alien. It didn't waste time, heading straight for a specific poster. Without a second thought, it started tearing the poster apart. Maybe it didn't like how it looked, or perhaps it thought the poster was revealing something it didn't want people to know. After making quite the mess, the little alien casually crawled away, almost like a mischievous prankster who just pulled a trick. The scene was strange yet funny. Who knew aliens would care so much about Earth's ads? Next time, maybe ask them for design tips. Shadow on wall. This clip surfaced online recently, showing a shadow crawling up a brick wall of a neighbor's house. No one there, no light to cast it. Just a dark figure frozen on the wall. Now I'll admit, this one's creepy, but it's too quick to say anything for sure. The shadow looks exactly like a person, but no human casting it, and no one reported anything strange in the area before. The person who filmed it claims it's a ghostly presence, something the local legends are full of, so what do you think? Just a trick of the light, or are we looking at something paranormal? Dark flying enigma. Have you heard about those spooky figures from old stories like the Slavic Chernobog or the Norse Draugr? Well, something really weird happened recently. A dark, shadowy figure was seen rising into the sky, kind of floating there with a trail of mist behind it. It looked just like those eerie legends come to life. Now, you might wonder, is this some real ghostly thing or just any prop for fun? With all the tech we have today, it's hard to say for sure, but isn't it cool to think we might have just seen a myth flying right in front of our eyes? Rumored witch. How bold do you have to be to quietly hide, phone in hand, waiting to catch a witch on camera? As unbelievable it sounds, that's exactly what this man did when he spotted a figure drifting through the shadows. She wore a long, torn dress, her pale skin ghostly, and her movements unnatural, almost like she floated. After a few growls and spooky looks, she moved and disappeared behind a pillar. This sighting brought to mind the tales of a banshee, a ghostly woman who appears as a warning. But what danger did she foretell? The questions linger, just like her eerie presence. Waterfall spirit. A waterfall in Rio de Janeiro reveals a dark secret. While capturing the stunning falls on camera, a woman noticed something strange. A shadowy figure emerging from the rushing water. The dark silhouette seemed to rise, almost as if it was watching its surroundings. But the second it seemed aware of her, it slowly sank back down, disappearing into the mist within moments. Locals couldn't help but think of the Iara, the mysterious water witch of Brazilian lore, known for luring people too close to her watery realm. Was this a glimpse of the mythical Iara, or just an illusion in the mist? Either way, this eerie sight left viewers with chills. Skeletal being. It looked like another peaceful hike through the forest, until he noticed something strange in the leaves. There, half buried among fallen branches, lay a skeletal figure with stretched limbs and hollow eyes. He paused, eyes fixed. Should he get closer for a better look, or leave it undisturbed? The eerie shape stirred memories of legends. The Wendigo, Skeletal, and haunting, or perhaps a ghoul lying where it fell. Was this a hidden secret waiting to be uncovered, or a warning best left alone? Spooky creature. This clip is straight up eerie with its old wooden structure in a dim, muddy spot under the night sky. Now, get ready for the creepy part. A long, white, skinny hand suddenly came out from an opening in the structure. It stretches out like it's reaching for something, then quickly snaps back. Almost at the same time, a face appears in the same spot, but it's so quick and blurry, you can barely see any features. This whole scene looks like it could be lifted from a folklore tale, right? We might just be seeing something mystical, but what? That's the suspense of this segment. Descending angels.
I don't know.
What the heck
Where is that?
Y'all ever hear about the angels over Milwaukee? Yeah, it sounds wild, but on February 27th, during a live Fox 6 News broadcast, something strange showed up in the early morning sky. Around 4:43 a.m., the news team checked one of their tower cams and spotted glowing shapes floating above the city. People started calling them descending angels. But here's where it gets interesting. These figures were caught on live TV, sparking questions everywhere. Were these real angels or maybe just some weird weather thing? Whatever it was, those ghostly shapes drifting over Milwaukee gave everyone a lot of questions to think.
See it, right?
I'm actually, yes,
Okay.
I do see it.
Okay.
New neighbor. The quiet street thought it had a new neighbor, but the reality was way stranger than anyone expected. Residents noticed a dark silhouette in the window of an abandoned house, and rumors started flying. Was it a ghost? A squatter? The curiosity was electric, but the truth even wilder. It turned out the mysterious figure was an ape that had been mistakenly released and somehow forgotten by the local zoo. Soon, the rescue team was on site, untangling the weird series of events that led to this bizarre sighting. As it turns out, even the most deserted places can hide unexpected secrets. Mystic being on the river. What a strange sighting on the river. People couldn't help but wonder what that mysterious figure was. Some folks started talking about river spirits from folklore, saying this could be one of them. In many cultures, rivers are seen as pathways between the living and the afterlife. In Japanese tradition, there's a belief in river spirits that help transfer souls from the earth to the afterlife. Is it one of them, or we just have seen a real river spirit from folklore stories? Jesus in sky. This clip surfaced on the internet, capturing a mysterious figure resembling Jesus, hovering above the clouds in a blue sky. The figure, surrounded by a radiant light, sparked a mixture of wonder, fear, and confusion among viewers. Many saw this as a miraculous sign, a divine presence making itself known, while skeptics argued it could just be a play of light or a digital fabrication. With technology now capable of creating elaborate illusions, the true nature of this spectacle ignited debates. Was this truly miraculous, or just another mystery of the modern age? Illusion. The stunning footage popped up online and looks like something straight out of a fantasy, an incredible burst of purple fire lighting up the night sky. Now, as much as I want to believe this is just a unique fire display, the idea of it being a phoenix reborn is hard to shake off. You know, in mythology, the phoenix bursts into flames when it dies and rises again from its ashes. The deep purple color adds a layer of mystery, symbolizing magic and wonder. But as much as I loved this mythology, it might be a glimpse of a phoenix emerging from the flames, bringing ancient legends to life in our modern world. Winged figure of Jakarta. Ever seen something in the sky that completely shocked you? That's what happened in Jakarta on September 11th, 2011. As the city was settling into the evening, a glowing winged figure came down from the sky. It looked bright and almost angel-like, touched the ground quickly, and then shot back up into the sky, disappearing as fast as it had appeared. This amazing moment got caught on camera and quickly spread all over the world, making people call it the Angel of Jakarta. Many thought this was a sign of protection or a message from above. Appearance in jungle. In a quiet, wooded area, a strange moment unfolded. A child pointed toward the bushes, and the mom, recording with her camera, stepped closer to see what had caught her kid's attention. Then, out of nowhere, a brownish figure appeared, a strange, almost human shape with an unsettling vibe. It hung there for just a second before slipping back into the trees. Some people think it might have been a Skinwalker, a creature from Native American stories that can change forms and blend into its surroundings. The thought of one wandering around a public forest is pretty spooky. Man in backyard. Who Who says monsters only lurk in fairy tales? In the backyard of a quiet family home, strange voices had been echoing for days. Then came the twist. Someone set up a hidden camera, and what it caught was straight out of a nightmare. Among the trees, a bent, shadowy figure with scaly skin and large, clawed hands appeared for just a second before disappearing back into the dark. Sound familiar? This creature fits the creepy description of the mole people, those cryptid beings rumored to live deep underground. Maybe that's why it appeared like this. Flying horse. Who said mythical creatures have to stay in books? In this wild footage, 2 winged figures were spotted flying through the sky. Then, the real shocker. These weren't just any creatures. They looked exactly like Pegasus, each carrying a mysterious angel-like figure on its back. Imagine Pegasus with a passenger. Was this a scene from an ancient legend come to life or some strange, unexplained phenomenon? Either way, it's got everyone talking. People are calling it proof of the mythical come to life. But one thing was confirmed: they were Pegasus, but who were running them was unknown humanoid. Floating figure. Y'all ever seen something that looked like a real-life dementor? On a lonely, bumpy road, a driver spotted a black, floating figure in the distance, hovering there just like those soul-sucking beings from Harry Potter. As he got closer, his headlights lit up the figure, but it didn't move, just floated there, still and silent. Curiosity got the best of him, so he inched forward, hoping to see more. But the closer he got, the creepier it felt. The figure remained shrouded in darkness, giving off this eerie, otherworldly vibe. The video ended there, but my mind was still racing. What happened? We got no further proof, only assumptions. Shapeshifter. This video shows something really strange. It's not just a bug on the wall, but a weird creature in a hostel room in Vietnam. The boys couldn't believe their eyes as they watched this odd being wiggle around. Its slender, worm-like body moved in a way that was both fascinating and creepy. It felt like something out of a jungle, not a place where people sleep. The footage quickly spread on social media, and people started to guess what it was. Some thought it might be an aswang, a shape-shifting spirit. While it was probably just an innocent insect, its unusual appearance left everyone a little uneasy. But if it's really a shapeshifter, then take care of all the bugs you see near you. Garden soul. Ever seen something that made you question what's real? This footage, taken in a quiet, misty garden, showed a shadowy figure in a white dress sitting still on a bench. She looked faint, almost blending in with the background, but there was no mistaking her presence in the silence. This seems like a soul girl, a spirit-like being found in many cultures. Usually described as an ethereal figure, the soul girl is thought to connect people to the spiritual world. She often shows up in gardens or natural spots, acting as a bridge between worlds. It felt like the garden was whispering secrets just beyond what we could see. Highway witch. How wild is it that a man was driving down a quiet highway and ended up seeing a figure walking through fire? In the dark of night, he spotted a bright, eerie glow ahead, looking like a fire burning on the road. But as he got closer, he realized it wasn't just flames. There was a figure in a flowing white gown, moving gracefully across the burning ground, completely unharmed. This sight sparked thoughts of fire witches from folklore, being said to control flames and use them for rituals. Was this fire witch real, or just a trick of the night? But folklore beings can make their presence again. Teleportation. Look closely, there's something truly strange happening in a park. A mother was walking when she reached out her hand, and out of nowhere, her young daughter appeared, grasping her hand. It looked so smooth and seamless, almost like magic. But here's the twist. If this were a camera glitch, you'd expect shaky footage or some weird distortion. Instead, the video was clear and fluid, making it seem like the girl teleported into the shot. It's a sight that's hard to forget, but technically truth? Jinn? On a night in the graveyard, something really strange was spotted. A figure with horn-like features was seen sitting on what looked like a grave, giving the whole place an eerie, almost mythical vibe. The quiet and isolation of the graveyard, along with how much this figure resembled the Greek god Pan, created an unsettling atmosphere. Pan, known for his goat-like horns and connection to nature, is a complex symbol in mythology. Seeing him near a grave felt significant, almost like a sign of the blurred line between life and demise. It was like he was watching over that space, embodying the cycle of life, end, and rebirth. Fallen Angel.
I'm sorry.
In a field, two young men filmed a strange winged creature. At first they thought it was some bird, but it wasn't. It flew gracefully in the air, but something seemed off. The shape of its legs caught their attention. They whispered that this might be a fallen angel. Was it a heavenly being or something darker? They watched in fear as it glided through the sky. Each flap of its wings sent them goosebumps. This sighting left them questioning everything. Could this creature be a warning, or was it simply passing through their world? The truth remains hidden in the shadows.
I'm sorry.
Ruin mystery. A guy was exploring some old ruins, totally unaware of the creepy figure lurking nearby. As he moved his camera around, bam, there she was. A woman in a long white dress. She had long hair, pale as a ghost, just standing there, watching. But when he turned the camera back, gone, just like that. So what was she? A restless spirit? This sighting sounds just like the White Lady legends, doesn't it? In Wales, they call her Why Lady Wen, a warning spirit, but her story shows up all over the world. Was she here to give him a message, or just passing through? White Stalker. You might get goosebumps after watching this one. A man lay asleep on the floor, blissfully unaware of what lurked outside his window. At first, everything seemed normal. Then, a tall, shadowy figure appeared, impossibly thin, just standing there, watching. It was the Slender Man, an urban legend come to life. Faceless, with long, stretched limbs, he's infamous for silently observing, showing up when you least expect it. The man shifted in his sleep like he sensed something nearby. But that figure? It didn't budge, just stayed there, still and silent, staring through the glass. What if a similar Slender watching us also? Homeowner. After hearing whispers about a creepoid haunting an old house in the forest, a group of thrill seekers decided to check it out. Flashlights in hand, they hurried toward the house, and just as they neared the window, there it was. Out of the darkness, a figure appeared. Tall, skinny, hairless, with a face that looked almost stitched together like a twisted voodoo doll. The blurry, ghostly figure seemed right out of a horror film, something from The Ring or The Grudge, where eerie faces emerge from the shadows. But before the group of people can take a clear picture of it, the creepoid went back into the darkness. A haunting glimpse of the unknown. Highway Ghost. In the eerie stillness of a dark highway, a car's headlights catch something unusual, a pale, skinny humanoid figure standing right in the middle of the road. It's the kind of sight that instantly brings to mind the tale of the Flatwoods monster. Back in 1952, in Flatwoods, West Virginia, locals reported seeing a strange figure after witnessing a bright light fall from the sky. Described as tall, with glowing eyes and a spade-shaped head, the Flatwoods monster quickly became part of local legend, often appearing on deserted highways at night. Looks like the highways are still touched by this creepy monster. Hiker's Night Surprise. Y'all ever hear those creepy stories about the Nukkalavi or the Wendigo? Well, after a long day of hiking, this group of friends was ready to crash at their campsite. But when they got back, something strange was lurking in the shadows. They flicked on their torches and there it was. A creepy, skinny humanoid crawling on all fours, just watching them. It sounds like a horror movie scene, right? This thing could be the Nukkalavi, a skinless nightmare from Scottish lore, or maybe a Wendigo stalking from the icy forests. Either way, it's the kind of sight that'll haunt you. Brownie. At first glance, this clip might just make you chuckle. Looks like Dobby from Harry Potter finally escaped. But wait, the story's way more mind-blowing than that. So a dog spots this creature and starts chasing it. The little guy quickly hides in the bins, the dog rushes past, and bam! Out he pops, leaps, and disappears. Classic sneaky behavior, right? That's because this could be a brownie, a creature from Anglo-Scottish folklore. Brownies are known for slipping around at night, doing little chores, pulling playful tricks, and then vanishing. This creature has those brownie vibes. Jungle Witch. In the forest, locals found someone hiding in a tree trunk. Rumors flew. It must be the witch they'd whispered about for years. A group of villagers gathered, ready to face this source of dark magic. Long ago, people thought witchcraft meant using powers to wound others. Witches were often blamed for bad luck, and in Europe, they faced harsh punishments. Now, as the villagers stood before the shelter, they had to decide, stick to old fears or try to understand. There, shaped by her dark magic into the witch from their stories, was she truly just a misunderstood woman from their village? Tiny shadows. When tiny creatures start darting around cars, you know you're in for something unusual. Caught on CCTV, these small, two-legged figures zipped around a parked black car like they were on a mission. Barely a foot tall, they look just like the mischievous duendes from folklore. Tiny goblin-like creatures famous for their pranks. Their bent bodies and quick movements suggested they were searching for something. Maybe they were just curious, or perhaps they spotted something shiny to snatch from under the car. What do you think they were up to? Hidden Street Man. In what seems like ordinary trail camera footage, something unusual happened. A hidden figure appeared for just a moment, and it looked like a man. It wasn't a glitch or a trick, it was clear as day. Only the head was visible, peeking out from behind something, almost like it was watching without being seen. The whole scene felt eerie and mysterious, leaving us wondering if this was a silent observer hidden away, quietly keeping an eye on us. I know it's a creepy thought, but the footage is proof. Time travel. In Turkey, a man is minding his own business when suddenly someone taps his shoulder and aware him of the disaster coming. He turns, sees the barrier was about to touch, and saved himself. But when he looked back, his mysterious helper has vanished. Later, he claims this might have been a man from the future, coming back to save him. Now, the guy who warned him, gone without a trace. What do you think? Could this be a case of time travel? Ghostly Ride. It looked like just another regular video, glowing creatures darting around like little fireflies. But watch closely here. Yes, just as this little light reaches the fence, it climbs over, gets to the other side, and then, incredibly, it turns into dust. What was that all about? These aren't just simple orbs, there's something more mysterious at play. Could we be looking at something ghostly? I'm imagining a Santa Claus with its horse ride as the movement is similar. Fire Demon? Ever seen a light that just feels out of place? Well, this glowing orb popped up just above the ground in a quiet, rural area. It floated slowly on the crop line, leaving a thin trail of smoke behind it. But here comes the suspense. In folklore, strange lights like this often mean something supernatural is at play. You know the will-o'-the-wisp that leads people astray? It's usually linked to spirits or mystical guides. But this light, with its smoky trail, seemed more intense. Kind of like those stories about fire demons. So where do you land on it? Fire Demon. This looked like a trash fire at first, but that changed when a boy was standing there. Then the fire grew big and burst into a figure that looked a lot like what myths call a fire demon. These creatures are made of flames and can control fire itself. They're fierce and often guard deep volcanoes. It's hard to believe, right? But looking at this fire turning into a figure, we could see a real fire demon. How else can we explain such a sight? Open discussion. In this deserted spot, folks came across something truly bizarre. A pigeon that was glowing like a light bulb, lighting up everything around it. But here's the twist. This might not even be a regular pigeon. In old folklore, fairies or elemental beings sometimes take the form of animals and often glow with an ethereal light. This glowing pigeon could be less of a city bird and more of a creature from a magical realm, possibly a fairy in disguise. Doesn't it feel like we are watching the fairy tale? Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.